All right. Seems we're live. Hello. Hello and welcome to my first live Q&A. My name is Kristian Golick and I'm here to answer your questions around video and how to use it so that you can be seen and recognized as the expert in your industry. And before I kind of go on, I want to check in with the audience here. This is a live chat. You can live chat, and I want to know right now if anyone can hear me. I want to know if this is working. I'm 99% sure it's working, but I'd love to hear some confirmation in the chat. And I know we're at a bit of a delay here. So, yeah, put in the chat if all looks and sounds good, and we'll get into it. All right, well, I don't want to wait too long, so I'll get into it. And I will be monitoring the chat. So, with this live Q&A all around video, something I wanted to do. All good. Perfect. All right, we're good. Something I wanted to do was to reach out to some of you ahead of time to get some pre-submitted questions for the first live Q&A. My goal in the future, because I do want to do more of these, my goal is to have people comment these questions live in the chat, and then I will see them and answer them live. But until we get to that point, I do have some pre-submitted questions, and they're categorized. One group of questions is focusing around being in front of the camera, like when to go live, when to post videos. Another category is gear, since that's a very popular topic. Different cameras, different microphones, lighting, and the lighting I'll actually save for the end because that's almost the grand finale. Lighting was the number one most requested question by far. I think I had 5 people all ask me questions about lighting, so we will get into that. And then moving past the gear, another category, another group of questions is around like editing the videos and then posting them to social media and, kind of how to go about that. And then at the very end, there is a little freebie for all of you who joined, which I'll get into later. So let's get started. So the first question is, how often should you go live or show a video on your business platform? And this is, I guess, a two-parter. So we'll break down live first. I would say a general rule of thumb, if you want to have like a good live engagement with your audience, once a week. I think once a week is good. All right, we got some questions. Yeah, okay. So how often should we go live? Once a week, I would say. That way it gives your audience a chance to look forward to your next live stream. If you did every day, you might not get as good of a turnout unless you have a very large audience and you know that, some of your audience can't do Tuesday, but they can do Thursday. But then some of them can't do Thursday and they can only do Tuesday, then you could do once a day, but you got to have a lot of chops for that. I don't have those kind of chops, not yet at least. So once a week for live. Pre-recorded videos that you post, I'm a quality over quantity kind of guy. So do what you feel comfortable doing. General rule of thumb, well, it depends on the platform. Like Instagram, you could post every day easily, because you're making a 15-second story or a minute long post at max. Like, you can't post longer than a minute, kind of ignoring IGTV, which is kind of different. So yeah, and short, sweet, to the point, one a day on Instagram. YouTube likes 10-minute videos, so you have to put a lot more thought into them. So if you did one YouTube video a week, you'd be in really solid shape. I don't think most people can do them, like make, really good, hefty, quality, content packed videos. I think one a week is a lot, on top of everything else we're doing. So yeah, one a week, maybe once every 2 weeks. Again, do what you can. LinkedIn likes 5-minute videos, so maybe 1 or 2 a week. So it depends on the platform, but by all means, do what you can, and don't stretch yourself thin to, like, basically put out quantity, because if it's half-assed, no one's gonna watch it. So there's kind of no point in putting it out there. All right. What do you do if you mess up talking when live? I will show you by example in this live stream. When you mess up, just move on. Like, don't dwell on it. Just keep going. If you do a word flub, it's live. People know it's live. It doesn't matter. If you are delivering information and you give, like, a wrong statistic, or you give, anything that, like, is misinformation, then you should go back, correct it, and move on. But regardless, just keep it brief, acknowledge you made a mistake, fix the mistake, and keep going. There's no point in dwelling on it. Any tips for those that feel nervous, uncomfortable, or unnatural in front of the camera? I mean, I have a boring answer, and that's just practice. I would say what I did, like, when I first started making video content for myself, like myself on camera, I think I recorded 2 videos, like, recorded them, edited them, watched them back, and I was like, ugh, I hate these. Like it was just, the whole process was terrible. I felt very uncomfortable, and I was just like, nope, trash can. And then I did another one, and it was slightly more tolerable, and I was like, okay, the content is there, like the information is there. It is clearly conveyed. It's a good message. I just don't like the way I sound on camera. I don't like the way I look on camera. Oh, this, but like that, I pushed to the side. And actually this is real story, and the story that kind of, like, got me past my stage fright, or my, uncomfortableness on camera. I made a video. This is back in my wedding days, when I was a wedding videographer. I made a video on raw footage, because every bride needed the raw footage of their wedding, but had no clue what it was. They just were told that they needed it, probably from The Knot or someone. I don't know, some blog. So everyone always asked for raw footage, but they didn't know what it was. So I made a video, like, visually explaining what it was and why they would use it, or why they would need it, and whatnot. I had 3 meetings lined up for that week, or for the following week. Made the video, sent the video to those 3 potential clients, those 3 brides, and when I met with them, they all booked, and they all were like, this video was so helpful, and we got a sense of your personality, and, like, we know you're a cool dude. Like, that was awesome. And I'm like, oh, okay. Well, shit, this works. And I kind of just, like, pushed aside my nerves and my uncomfortableness, and I was doing it for a reason, and I just kept doing it, and eventually I, you know, became comfortable with it. And I guess part two, second part of advice, uh, it's very easy to look at the Marie Forleos and the Oprahs of the world and think, wow, they're so good. I could never be that good. They were nervous when they made their first video. I don't know them personally, but I'm going to take a bet that they were nervous their first video. All right. Next question. We'll finish up this this group of questions, and then I have a question from Paula Rizzo. Hi, Paula. All right. So, how do you stand out with your video compared to the thousands of others listed on social media? Again, this is not an exciting answer. This is not a sexy answer by any means. You know, I think there's this idea like you can hack your way to the top, or you can, try this crazy new technique and you instantly get thousands of subscribers. And I just believe in hard work, consistent work, putting your full self into each one of your videos that you make, putting your best expertise into each video, and just repeating the process and building. And with that, I also want to stress, as cliche as it sounds, to be yourself in your videos and not take on the YouTuber-esque personality where like everything's super exciting and literally everything's exciting. I just see that a lot on YouTube, and I'm like it gets those techniques get subscribers, those techniques get the views, but those are cheap tactics, and they get quantity, not quality, because, and I'm sure a lot of you, like myself, have smaller lists, smaller email lists, subscribers and whatnot, but your list is full of really good qualified people that will actually like consider you and do business with you and care about you. Whereas, if you're doing, quick hacks to growth, you are getting the quantity, but most of them won't give you the time of day, won't give you any money, won't care at all what you're selling, because they're only there for the free stuff. And I guess just to like end on that, the more you build up, you will grow your audience by the time you have video 20 out. And the thing is, by video 20, you have a larger audience. They will go back and watch videos 1 through 19. So it may feel like, oh, I'm making this video and like 3 people watched it. This is dumb, and I'm, throwing in the towel. People will watch your original content. They will like watch your videos. Like it all builds. It all builds on top of each other. All right, so that's, now we're transitioning into the gear, the cameras and the equipment type. So I'm going to take on Paula Rizzo's comment, or question rather, in the comments. How do you avoid glare on your glasses? I get that question all the time. This is great. I'm really glad I didn't wear my contacts today. So it definitely is tricky. It definitely depends on the the environment you're in. Basically, your glasses reflect anything that is like in line with your glasses. So if you're sitting in front of a window and you're looking directly out the window, you're going to see the window on your glasses. I wish I could show this right now. I have a light right above me, and it's actually higher up and angled down. So the light hits me, but it doesn't glare. It doesn't glare on my glasses. If I look up, you can see it here. You can see like the green. So if I'm like looking directly in line with the light, you see the glare. But since I'm, mainly looking at the camera or the computer, the glare doesn't really hit. So yeah, if you can angle the lights up and down at you, that will help avoid glare. Or maybe, off to the side where the light can still hit your face, but not be like directly in line with the glasses. Yeah, that's the most practical advice. All right. Cameras. Let's see. Cameras start simple and move up to complex, sophisticated types. Yeah, I mean, I think for this audience, for entrepreneurs who want to utilize video in their business, I'm never going to recommend a professional cinema camera. Got some more questions. I'm never going to recommend like a professional camera that they would use in Hollywood, because there's no reason to use that. Like any camera, and seriously, like any camera in 2020 has fantastic quality, and you can make really good video content. I would say I would label three tiers, three tiers of cameras for entrepreneurs who want to who want to use video in their business. Tier 1, your phone. I'm a huge supporter of using your phone to make videos. Just make sure you hold it horizontal, please. Unless you're on Instagram, then you can do vertical. Otherwise, horizontal. Yeah, you have your phone, which does fantastic video, and we'll call that tier 1. Tier 2 would be point and shoot cameras, which typically range around $500-ish. I know Panasonic makes a really nice point and shoot camera. It's the Panasonic Lumix FZ1000. That's a great camera for that price range. And then the third tier, the top tier, that I would recommend to you would be like the small mirrorless interchangeable lens cameras, such as the Canon M50 and the Sony a6400. Those cameras, you actually buy the camera and a lens separately and then combine them, and that's how you make your videos. So you have a lot of creative flexibility, and you can make your videos look really, really nice and sharp. That ranges from like $700 to $2,000, depending on the lens you buy and the camera body. There will be a jump in quality between the three tiers, but no tier looks bad. And as you jump up, not only are you paying more, but you also have to be more comfortable, and you have to understand the buttons and the dials. And my biggest thing would be, like, quality, yes, is important, but like if you're going to fight the camera and you just don't, like, you're not understanding all the buttons and dials, and like you have to fight with the camera to get a good video, that's probably not the right camera for you. Like, if you're making a video, you need to worry about like the content. You need to worry about your expertise, delivering your expertise on camera. That is your number one priority. If you are distracted by fixing the camera and like trying to troubleshoot and like, oh, this isn't working and this setting is weird, I don't understand, I have to Google it, it's just going to get in the way. And yeah, I wouldn't recommend that. Even if it could potentially look better, go with what works. That's my honest opinion. So yeah, iPhone, point and shoot, small mirrorless cameras, You already have this, $500 up to $2,000. Basic equipment list. Well, I will. No, we'll do this now. I was going to save this for the end, and I'll talk about it again at the end. But so basic equipment list. I actually prepared a list for all of you, which is free. It's a gear list with links to Amazon for you to buy the gear. And to get the gear list, you can actually go to kristiangolick.com and put in your email, and then the list will be automatically sent to you. And let me put that in the chat right now. kristiangolick.com. It's just a simple landing page. Put in your email, and you will automatically get the email sent to you with the gear list. So, and that ranges from tier one camera being your phone, to a microphone, a light, really like the bare bones basics to make really good looking video. And it's all equipment I actually own and use and love. So definitely recommend it. Oh, this is actually a good segue. I was going to talk about microphones, and I'm going to take Terry's question. What about masking environmental sounds? I can never tell how loud, say, a siren is to someone else. Yeah, well, I mean, in New York City, I feel like that's expected background noise. Yeah, so obviously you want to be in a quiet environment to record your videos, to record your audio. Not all of us have access to a quiet space. I mean, I think my space is pretty quiet, but I also live, right on a main road, and cars zoom by, and trucks, particularly trucks, and the occasional motorcycle just barrel down, and that audio definitely comes in. So to avoid that, I mean, the most practical use would be the microphone that you use. Some microphones are more sensitive than others, and this is actually, quiet like Albany. Yeah. Well, I don't know. Cuomo seems to talk a lot, and he's in Albany, so. So depending on the mic picks up, or different mics pick up different, background noise, sensitivity of background noise. So and this is the mic I'm obviously using right now and love using for Zoom calls and basically anything on the computer because it plugs in through USB. This handheld mic, since it's so close to my face and the way it's designed, it picks me up and doesn't really pick up much else. Like it really doesn't pick up much else. If a motorcycle blows through on the street, yeah, it's going to pick up. But it's going to pick up significantly less than if I were to wear a lavalier microphone, which is also a fantastic mic, but much smaller, and it clips onto your shirt here. Although if you do clip it on, fish the wire underneath your shirt. Helpful tip. This mic is much more sensitive and would hear the background noise so much more. I think you have to do what you can. You can't, depending on the environment you're in, you're not going to ever eliminate all background noise. You just have to do what you can to eliminate it as much as possible. And in my case, that is this USB handheld microphone that is very up close to my face. Don't mess with Cuomo. I love Cuomo. I love how this entire year, how he just like lays it out. I love it. I wish he was my governor. That was, yeah. Yeah, I love his stuff. Just one more note about microphones. If you do want more detail, because I've, kind of just going over I'm skimming the surface here. More details on microphones. I have released four different videos on my YouTube in the past few months, talking about different microphones and what they are best used for. So if you check out all four, but if there's one you check out, it would be, the title is, I think, the 3 most common microphones, or the 3 most popular microphones used in video. I go into a lot of detail about different types of mics and how it can mask out, different background noises and, what they're best used for. And if there's one piece of advice that I have to stress, I will stress forever and ever, please use a microphone. Don't just rely on your phone microphone. Don't just rely on your laptop microphone. They kind of sound like crap. Please use a mic. All right, so now we're kind of transitioning to the editing and posting, section. Let's see. Yeah. All right. So scripts versus conventional ad-lib-ish, how to pause and begin again when stumbling occurs, using timestamps to reference places where edits will be needed. Yeah. So I think this is more of a editing question. When you script your videos, you inherently will mess up less, I think. I mean, it depends on you. But when you script, you read the script, and there's kind of less room for interpretation, less room for error. If it's more ad-lib-ish, then yeah, you could definitely flub a word and kind of just stumble around. In editing, how do you kind of deal with that? This is a really cool trick that I love using. If I'm, making a video and I'm freestyling it, I'm ad-libbing, and I'm going, and then I, mess up, I will actually, on camera, do this. 3 claps, or snaps, or if it's like a podcast, I'll actually tap the mic 3 times. 3 times. That is because in editing, when you on the computer, when you bring that into your computer to edit, when you look at the audio file, you'll see a waveform, and a waveform is essentially just a visual graph of your audio. So like the loud parts are here, and then the quiet parts are here, and then the loud parts, and then quiet and loud and quiet. And that's kind of what it looks like. So when I'm looking and I read the waveform, and I see my voice, I'm talking, no, I'm not talking, and then I see these giant spikes, these giant 3 spikes of, that's when I know, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's where I messed up. Like, it's a very quick way to pinpoint where you messed up, and then you just cut, delete, and keep on editing through. All right. Editing. Suggested video lengths for different purposes. High quality versus good enough editing. I love that question. We did kind of talk about suggested video lengths for social media platforms. Again, Instagram, 1 minute, LinkedIn, 5 minutes, YouTube, 10 minutes. outside of the social media realm, like if you have a video on your website, I mean, I think it's fantastic to have like a landing page video, just like who you are, what your business is, what you do, like how the person on your site can benefit from you. I think that's a really cool and a very powerful tool. Very, very powerful tool. For a landing page video, I would say like 2 to 4 minutes, 4 being like the max, I think. And then you could utilize video on your sales pages, which is very, very powerful, especially if you like to have long sales pages with a lot of content on them, which is a very, very popular and a good technique to use. Having multiple videos, they can be long. Like the thing with sales pages is, especially like the really large ones with just like endless amounts of copy and content, having long videos on them is actually really good because it just like reels in a potential customer more and more the longer they watch. So I mean, I've seen some sales pages that have like 20-minute long videos, and it's just endless amounts of content. All right, high quality editing versus good enough editing. I love this question because the answer is very much counterintuitive. Like, you want to put out quality, but you shouldn't be perfect in your editing, because perfection will so drastically slow you down. I say quality over quantity. Yes. The quality comes from you. Your message, your content, your expertise, that is the quality. People are there for you. They are there to listen to you, to learn from you. They are there for you. They are not there for the editing. They are not there for the transitions. They are not there for any of the fancy techniques. So good enough editing. If you are the director, producer, on-screen talent, and editor, by all means, good enough editing, because your job is your content. Like, that's your main job. That's what people are there for. So good enough editing. If you want to have a video on your website that is going to live on your website and not just get mixed in with your social media feed, if you want a video to really stand out, one, I recommend you hire a professional, because they are going to do the high quality editing. They are going to obsess over the final details, make sure everything is like really perfect, because that's where the detail counts. You should never be doing perfect editing for your weekly or bi-weekly, monthly video content. So that's the difference between high quality and good enough editing, in my opinion. I do high quality editing for my clients. I do good enough editing for me. Okie dokie. Yeah, okay, this is a good question. Storage, where to house your videos and how to name them for easy reference. If we're talking where to house them for like your own categorization, definitely buy an external hard drive if you want to keep your video files like local. If you make your videos and you want them in the cloud, I really recommend Dropbox. I think you can subscribe to Dropbox. I think it's $100 a year, and you get 2 terabytes of storage, a steal, and you won't need you will not need 2 terabytes. Like, you will be good. Like, I have 2 terabytes and I still haven't filled it up, and I make a lot of videos, obviously. So yeah, Dropbox is great for storing your videos on the cloud. If you want to store them in a shareable format, then Vimeo might actually be your best bet for like private sharing. Vimeo is very professional. It's very clean. It is $5 a month, which, you know, I pay for, and I love it. You just get so much flexibility. And yeah, Vimeo is great for sharing, private sharing, and then Dropbox is great for cloud storage. And then how to name them? I mean, don't not name them. That is my number one piece of advice. Is don't not name them, because it's going to get real confusing. Because out of the box, like if you record on your phone, or you record, well, not on this camera, but if you're like, the files out of my camera are like, you know, clip C01526. How are you going to remember that, you know? So definitely have some sort of structure. I typically, like for me, the video content I make, I have categories. So, you know, camera videos, I'll have a folder for cameras, and then I'll have, you know, in the folder, you know, how to set your camera up for Zoom, how to set your camera up for recording in your living room, how to do this on your camera. And then I'll have another folder with audio, different types of microphones, using this microphone for audio or for video. Yeah, just have some sort of structure. It doesn't have to be, you know, anything crazy, but it just has to make sense to you. Viewing platform. This is our last question before we hop into the lighting. Viewing platform. Which social media do you choose? Which social media do I choose? I choose YouTube, because I know that my content, I know the way I make my content, I know what feels good to me, and YouTube supports that format. Like I'm in that 5 to 10 minute range of video making, just because it's the way I deliver my information, and YouTube works for me. That doesn't mean I don't do Instagram occasionally. It doesn't mean I don't post on LinkedIn. I think YouTube is where I have a lot of my audience. Doesn't mean they don't live other places as well. So my answer would be like, you know, where would you put your videos? Where would they be viewed the most? Where your audience is. Where your audience is, and then what feels most comfortable to you. Because that is very important too. So if you're just like a bullet point, like let's, you know, fact, short and sweet, Instagram. If you are a little more long-winded, like I am, YouTube. If you're somewhere in between, LinkedIn. All right. Time to get into lighting. The final topic, the most heavily requested topic, lighting. I'm going to break this down a little bit, because there's definitely a few different approaches, a few different things to consider. Because lighting is substantial. Most practical piece of advice I can give is to put yourself in front of a window. Window light, natural light, is by far the most flattering and easiest way you can get light. I'll go back to my wedding days, because this is what I told brides. when they're getting their makeup done, if you want to look the most natural with your makeup, do it in front of a window, not in front of a bunch of lamps putting orange light on you, like kind of like this. Like, this looks terrible. I turned one light on and it looks like shit. Like, turn off the lamps, get in front of a window. Looks so much better. If you don't have access to good window light, or it's nighttime, you can put lamps on. Lamps aren't bad. It's just when you mix them with window light, they get really funky. So yeah, if it's nighttime, you can turn your lamps on, but I would really recommend getting like a dedicated video light for you. So I do have some recommendations. My first and favorite recommendation, which I kind of feel like this is a lightsaber, this is a light wand, and it's battery powered. It's made by a company called Yongnu, which they make really, really good value lights. The quality and the output is really good for the price. I want to say this is like $120, maybe $130. It's plasticky. I mean, it's all plastic. But these last. Like, let me tell you. Here's another light by the same company, which is just square. These lights, I took these lights camping a few years back, and I remember setting the lights up at night when we were cooking our dinner. Sun went down, so these lights were amazing because they just put out a ton of light and we could see. Well, night finishes up, we go to bed, and this is in October. This is in October in Pennsylvania. So overnight, it went below freezing, and I left my light outside. So I wake up the next morning, come outside, and it was this panel. It is covered in frost. Like, it is frozen solid. And I was like, oh shit, did I just ruin my light? I popped a battery on, and it lit up. Like, it was perfect. And I was just like, well, shit. Very durable for how plasticky and how affordable they are. But the light output, the quality is very, very nice. Like I was saying before with the gear list that you can get at KristianGolick.com, this light is on that list, and I very much recommend it. Again, it takes the same batteries, which the batteries also are on the list. There we go. This is on the warm setting. It can also be a little cooler too, which is nice because, again, when you are filming, when you don't have window light available, this can adapt to the light around you. Therefore, it'll make everything look a lot more natural, which I really like. And it has a remote. So yeah, the light wand. What's the technical name is the YN360 Mark III. I just call it light wand because I'm not going to remember that. Okay, so here's another practical tip. Even if you don't have a light wand, or even if you don't have a dedicated video light, say you're recording or you're on a Zoom call, and it's at nighttime, so you turn your lamps on. You have a few lamps in your office or your bedroom or wherever you're Zooming from. And I've seen this so many times where the light, like they have enough light. There's enough light on, but it still looks like washed out. And sometimes it gets funky and the camera like just doesn't make you look right. And it's like, you know, you have the light, but it's about the positioning of your light. So the way I like to, you know, word it and think of it is, you want to put the light on you, not the background. You know, we want to see your face. We don't want to see your background. We want to see you. So make sure that you put the lights, you know, in front of you, kind of by where the camera is. Put the lights by you. That way you are illuminated. And it's a twofold effect, because if you have lights on in the background, the camera is actually going to like look at those lights, and like they're going to kind of prioritize the brightness of those lights, not the brightness of you. And when it does that, you might actually go a little dark and be like kind of silhouetted or hard to see. You know, I'll just demonstrate. In frame. Here we go. Yeah, so like if we had this light on in the background, one, it's already doing weird stuff to my face, but like it's distracting. It's like creates this haze, and that's because the light bulb, it's just the light bulb is bright, and the camera sees the light bulb because it's physically in frame, like it's in the background, and that just throws everything off. So to fix that, now I didn't turn the light off. It's still on, but it's off to the side. So now my background still gets some light, so it doesn't look like I'm, you know, talking on Zoom in a cave or somewhere. I don't know. Like we see the background, but it's not distracting, and it's not doing that weird thing to my hair, my face. It's not hazy. So yeah, having the light on in the background but off to the side is going to dramatically increase the quality of your video on Zoom or on your phone. Really anything that the camera is like doing the work and like figuring out the exposure. I'm going to turn this light off though. Okie dokie. All right, so here's one more tip with lighting, practical lighting that you can do. So let's take this light wand here, and you know what I'm going to do? I am going to turn off my professional light that's lighting me right now. I'm going to turn it off. So now I'm dark. I'm only lit by the window over here, which it's not snowing. It said it was going to snow at 10 o'clock. Still not snowing. Whatever. So let me turn this light on. Oh, this is so warm. Whoa. Yeah, this light also has colors. Let's turn that off. We're not going for that effect today. So there we go. Now we have a little cooler light. This ain't working. This is not. It's a hair too bright, and I'm squinting heavily. So to get around that, as you can kind of see, my office has white walls, or near white walls, and white walls are fantastic for kind of bouncing light around, for smoothing out the light. So instead of this, Let me get this light over here. I'm literally shining this light wand at a white wall, and now that light is bouncing back and hitting my face. And while it's not the same quality as my light before, as my professional light, which costs over $1,000, this $100 light is adding some really nice light onto my face. It's very soft, very very pleasing. So this is a great way to easily get nice light on your face. It's and this was at half power. Let's try it full power now. Oh, that's even better. Yeah, I dig that. That's cool. Just holding a lightsaber here. Don't mind me. All right, let's get my professional light back on. Okay. So yeah, that's lighting in a nutshell. Again, I have a link to this light in the kit, in the list of gear, which you can get at kristiangolick.com. The link is in the chat, but it is just my name, Kristian Golick. So kristiangolick.com. From there, just put your email in, and then you will automatically be sent an email with the list of gear that you can buy, links to Amazon. And then at the bottom after the list of gear, there is a link to a video guidebook. A video guidebook that I am making right now that shows you how to set up each piece of gear that I recommended, since I own all the gear and love all the gear. The video guidebook walks you through step by step, literally step by step, how to set up the gear on the list. So if you want to take the guesswork out and you just want that peace of mind to set the gear up with confidence and start making your videos right away, the video guidebook is available for pre-order. Once it's finished, it will be selling for $159.99. But if you're interested in pre-ordering it, getting the pre-sale today before it actually is available, that is available for $79 for pre-order, a little more than half off, 50% off. So again, if you want the free list of gear with Amazon links, kristiangolick.com, put in your email and you get that list. If you're interested in pre-ordering the video guidebook that walks you through and just gives you the peace of mind, really, to confidently make really high quality videos, video guidebook is available for pre-order at $79, a little more than 50% off the launching price. So with that, I want to say thank you. This is my first live stream. There will be more. I plan on making this a weekly or bi-weekly thing starting in January. But I wanted to kind of test the waters a little bit now. And I'll be spending the rest of my 2020 finishing up the video guidebook and enjoying the holidays, which I hope all of you do as well. So thank you again. Thanks for hanging out. Let me know what you thought of this live Q&A. I'd love to hear your feedback. Send me an email or just message me in the chat. All right. Talk to you later. See ya.